All right, let's get into it. Vineyard Vines, I had a bunch of other ones, but this is the one that I want to talk about because it's going to be special. All right, so let's talk about honest opinions here. Whip Snakes, Redwoods. This is the finals from last year. Whip Snakes ran it. The Redwoods are going to have a chip on their shoulder. I love what Nat St. Laurent's doing over there. I'm gonna go Whip Snakes. They're just gonna be riding the momentum of last year. And the Whip Snakes aren't gonna be as ego heavy. Not that the Redwoods are gonna be ego heavy, but they're not a very ego driven team. So let's continue with that. We'll talk about that another day. Chaos Chrome. Chaos, easy. Chaos has his super deep field. They're gonna get to play probably several different offensive types. Then you have a very diverse offensive player like Connor Fields. Love it. Chrome. So, interesting. Highest scoring team last year. So, can they bring it back together? They have a lot of old guard, which I enjoy about that team. Matt Danowski, Ned Karate. Love that, but I don't think they're going to be able to string it together just yet. Atlas Water Dogs. If you ask me honestly, this is going to be the game that decides the season for the Atlas, or the round robin for the Atlas. Here's why. Atlas is going to be a very momentum-based team. All right? They can ride highs, they can ride lows. They also have a very high skill ceiling. If they can get everything together and get on the same page, then there's no reason that they can't run the board with this game. But I think the Water Dogs, if this game was played 100 times, would win it more often than the Atlas. I'm going to go with the Water Dogs on this one. Now, here's why. Water Dogs, fresh team. You got Drenner, Mr. Overtime himself. I'm a firm believer in experience, and Brody Merrill, if he can get that defense all on the same page, they're going to be in a great spot. Andy Copeland, a very, very well-versed guy. I kind of pictured him as a Herb Brooks in study, not obviously practice, but in study. I think he's a very Herb Brooks type of guy. He wants the guys he wanted, and he put this team together for a reason, especially having as many choices as he did. All right. Chaos Redwoods. This is going to be a great matchup. Not a deciding factor matchup, but a great matchup. Great game regardless. You got transition offense versus settled offense. Okay. I think Chaos are going to be riding a wave off of this one. I think Redwoods are also going to have a chip on their shoulder after they lose to the Whip Snakes again. Ending the season losing to the Whip Snakes, starting the season losing to the Whip Snakes, going to put a little bit of chip on your shoulder. I'm going to pick Redwoods to win that one. Then we're going to go with Archers Atlas. Atlas are going to win this one. Pretty hands down. Water Dogs Archers. Water Dogs pretty straightforward again. Redwoods Chrome. This is an interesting matchup. Because, again, the Chrome is the perfect team that you don't ever want to count out. They're the team that you don't ever want to say, you know what, they're not going to win this. Okay, because they can pull out some stuff. There's a lot of experience on that team. If they want to score, this is the team that will score. Water Dog. I'm gonna go Redwoods again. Whip Snakes, Atlas. Whip Snakes are going to take this. That Maryland bond that these guys have is going to be their kind of defining factor, and was their defining factor last year. Archers Chrome. I doubt the Chrome are going to have another losing season. They're going to find a way to pull it out and bring it back together. Chaos Whip Snakes. I think this is going to be a big upset because the Whip the day before, and Atlas is going to be a physical game. I don't think it'll be a overly difficult game, but it will be a physical game. Because the Atlas, this club has something to prove this season. You got a lot of guys. You got the number one guy coming over from the MLL in Rob Pinnell and RP3, whatever you want to call him. they're gonna have a lot to. They're gonna have a lot to prove, especially with the firepower. They got a whole new coaching staff. They got Brooks. They got, yeah. That's gonna be. They got something to prove. They got to be on top of it. Okay, let's talk about Chrome Water Dogs. Water Dogs. I think Water Dogs are gonna have an awesome opening season. Redwoods Atlas. I think Redwoods are gonna bring it back around. I think it was either the highlights 2 or highlights 1 that said something along the lines of "speak softly, carry a big stick." I don't remember the exact thing that he said, but something along the lines of "speak softly, carry a big stick." And I think that defines this team. They're quiet. They're very disciplined. That's the play style that they show off in our game. And I think the Atlas ride momentums again high and low. They're off a low momentum from that Whip Snakes loss. They're gonna be down in the dumps. Okay, Water Dogs, Chaos. Golly, the Chaos have a great schedule. They have a strong schedule. They have a really break-ridden schedule too. What do they play? 25th, 2 days off. Then they take another 2 days off. Play 3 days off. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm going to go Chaos again over the Water Dogs. I think this is going to be another upset. I think Chaos is going to be a sleeper team that not a lot of people are putting behind, but you should. Their defense is probably one of the more consistent defenses in the league. They had some obvious holes last year, but that doesn't mean they weren't consistent. They're definitely one of the more consistent. All right, Whip Snakes, Archers. Whip Snakes, I have Archers going. Oh, that hurts. Okay, Team 1 gets a bye. That's going to be the Whip Snakes. Wait, how do they decide? Meetings are based on the record you selected. Yeah, I have 4 teams that are 3-1. How are the Whip Snakes a 1 seed? Is that strength of schedule? Or is that just because they won the championships last year? I don't want them to be the 1 seed. Is goal differential going to be the 1 seed? Whatever. Whip Snakes are still going to make it. Okay, so Whip Snakes. We're going to go Chaos, Redwoods, Water Dogs. I think it's going to be a pretty cutthroat, pretty easy, simple round robin or semifinals. Quarterfinals. Which clubs will square off? How do they decide who plays off here? Question. Because that's going to change my outcome. I think Chaos, if they play the Redwoods, they lose. Chaos beats Whip Snakes. Chaos beats Water Dogs. Water Dogs beat Redwoods. I think Water Dogs beats Whip Snakes. I think Whip Snakes beat Water Dogs but lose to Redwoods. I'm going to go shout out Nat and Chaos in the finals. Let's go. You know what? The expansion draft is Chaos Water Dogs final. Chaos win it all. Awesome. Thanks, guys. We're going to go 575 total goals. Catch you later.